go to sleep. Go from there. Thank y'all for pressing your way out for Bible study. Tonight we're jumping back into 1 Samuel chapter 25. It has been a saga. We've been kind of growing together and learning about David and his character. And tonight we're really going to focus on David's character. We know that he was a man after God's own heart, but with that comes other issues too. So we're going to kind of examine. Last time we examined his intentions as far as it came to Samuel, and remember he cut off a little part of his robe, and he had that conversation, and we kind of went back and forth on that. But as we go deeper into this chapter, or go into chapter 1 Samuel 25, we're going to find some interesting points on how David views life, and also how others view life, and some questions on how we go forth. So as we jump into 1 Samuel chapter 25, the outcast, still dealing with the rise of King David. That first verse we stopped at on last time. Then Samuel died, and the Israelites gathered together and lamented for him, and buried him at his home in Ramah. And David arose and went down to the wilderness of Paran. So remember, the prophet dies. At that point, when the prophet dies, it seems that a lot of things break forth. It seems like there's not a covering, but God is still in charge. But that prophet, when he's pulled out, many things can take place. As we go into that verse 2, someone read, please.
Now there was a man whose business was in Carmel, and the man was very rich. He had 3,000 sheep and 1,000 goats, and he was shearing his sheep in Carmel.
All right. As we look at this, I want you to think about that question I put: how rich are you, and what have you been held accountable for? I believe, according to the scriptures, that God does bless us, but we're held accountable for those blessings and how we use those blessings. It can be in richness, or it can be in poverty. If God has blessed you with much money and you've squandered it, you're still held accountable for that. I think for many in the United States of America, we have squandered our money. We have squandered that which God has blessed us with on just stuff. And it's amazing. I like stuff. When you go down High Point Road or Wendover, you can see Best Buy, a whole bunch of stuff. Target, a whole bunch of stuff. Walmart, a whole bunch of stuff. And then we got Applebee's, a whole bunch of stuff. TGIF Friday, a whole bunch of stuff. And the amazing thing to me, all of these businesses are supported by us. Right? Black, white, Hispanic. And for us not to have any money, we sure can buy stuff. I mean, you think about that. I mean, we are. A lot of people are struggling, but for us not to have money, gas stations are still open, Walmart is still open, Target, all of these places, food and eateries. So I don't think our issue is money. I think our issue is keeping. So notice here, we've got a man, and we're going to find his name out just momentarily because that's very important. He had a business, it's in Carmel, and the man was how rich? Very, very. How many sheep did he have again?
3,000.
3,000 sheep and 1,000 goats. Very important. Richness was equated to that which you had. And I want to add to that which you had that can be converted. I think our concern is we're buying stuff that can't be converted to anything. And that's one of my concern with debt. A lot of people challenge me on debt and all of these things. It's like, well, I got this, and I can get this amount out of it. But what if you can't? And that's where we're coming into the society. People think that they can move their goods and services, but if you can't move it, it's still debt. And that's the problem. But notice, his is sheep and goats. People need milk. People need fabric from the sheep. People need food. This is a good investment, okay? So he has all of these things, and he was known for his shearing, okay? That's what he did to make his business, or to make his money. Look at this verse 3. Someone read, please.
The name of the man was Nabal, and the name of his wife Abigail. And she was a woman of good understanding and beautiful appearance. But the man was harsh and evil in his doings. He was of the house of Caleb.
All right, what do we learn from here? All right. He's mean. He's harsh. What else?
He had a beautiful wife.
Yes. This is very important. Arthur puts here, he has a beautiful wife in appearance. What else?
He had good understanding. She was wise.
All right, she had good understanding, but I want to put this little thing in there. She was still married to Nabal. Right?
She was savvy.
It was, okay, I got young ladies over here, it's like arranged. All right, it was possibly arranged marriage. That's important. What else do we learn from here? Something very important. Right? Beautiful appearance, good understanding. The man was harsh in doing, and also he was of the house of Caleb. All right, we see that genealogy line. We see his background even coming into his personality. That's important. Now, I want you to look and follow through this. We've got a beautiful lady. Name is Abigail. Keep that in mind. We've got a man named Nabal. Keep that in mind because we're going to deal with that. And we already have personality traits. Okay, so it's a kind of a setup. David is in the background. Someone read 4 through 6, please.
When David heard in the wilderness that Nabal was shearing his sheep, David sent 10 young men. And David said to the young men, "Go up to Carmel, go to Nabal, and greet him in my name. And thus you shall say to him who lives in prosperity, Peace be to you, peace to your house, and peace to all that you have."
What's going on here?
Approaching him in humility.
All right. We know the background. Nabal's rich. He has a lot of stuff. He's accountable for those richness. So David needs something from Nabal. All right. Remember, David's on the run. He's in the wilderness. He has a lot of people to support. Very important. Go up to Carmel. Go to Nabal. Greet him in whose name? David's name. All right. I want you to. My name is who you're going to greet him in, and I want you to tell him. You shall say to him who lives in prosperity. Peace be to you. Peace to your household, and what? Peace to all that you have. Again, that question at the beginning, what richness do you have in your life, and what are you held as accountable for? All right, we are. I've taught on this so much, and I have not yet arrived. We just have a lot of stuff in our homes that I think we're going to have to give an account for. I really do. Just stuff that we'll never use. Stuff that when you look at it, you go, you know what, I should give that away. And then you close the drawer back up. You know, there's this little part of us that, and we should get in the mindset of donating because I know God blesses us over and over again, but we hold on. I believe a lot of our homes could be reduced in size if we just get rid of our extra stuff.
Amen.
I really do. I mean, think how much space that you had. You think, well, a lot of y'all can't remember because y'all carried your stuff with you. So think back when you didn't have a whole bunch of stuff and you moved into that first place. I remember when Bianca and I, we didn't have all this stuff and we moved in, we were like, whoa, what we gonna do with all this space? Really, I remember that. Bianca, you remember that? It was like, this is so much space. And then over year by year, stuff started to move in. I'm like, where did all this stuff come from? And I believe that God blesses us to transition those things. And we really have to make a standard. The agenda.
You said the word, when God blesses us with the things, the more we're blessed with, the more He requires from us too.
Amen.
And it's kind of hard because the day did the right thing because he went to kind of ask to make that way.
Right. The more you have, the more you're required or accountable for. Was there any other hands? All right. Someone read that next verse, 7.
Now I have heard that you have shears. Your shepherds were with us, and we did not hurt them, nor was there anything missing from them all the while they were in Carmel. All
right, so this is the message he's sending to Nabal. All right? What is he saying? And then I want you to think about the question, was this a threat? What is he saying? Tony.
He's pretty much saying that You know, he realizes his prosperity, what it is, and I just wanted to let you know that, you know, we come in peace pretty much. You had your people among us.
Okay,
He's probably heard of who David is, I would think.
okay,
And, you understand what I do. I have the ability to really hurt them or do something to them, but I haven't.
okay,
So I'm sending these to you in hopes that, you know, you'll pretty much do the same thing.
okay,
But I think he's trying to tap into some attributes of, that Nabal just don't have.
okay. Brother Gordon?
Yeah, but see, Tony, I think he's reminding that his prosperity was in part because of his kindness. So, you know, I scratch your back, you can scratch mine, you know.
Do we feel this was a threat? No? Okay, all right.
Yeah, it is.
Saran?
Yeah, it is. I think so. I think, you were saying, I did this for you before, now I'm here, so whatever I'm gonna ask you for, I might need to give it up.
I'm torn on this. I am. I want to think the best of David, but this sure sounds like a gangster type. You know when the mafia goes in the neighborhood and they say, you know, we're here for your protection. All right, we're gonna make sure that that happens to you. So what we gonna do, you know, we're gonna protect you, and you can just fill the bags with money for us. We're gonna make sure nobody messes with you. Now, maybe I'm just overthinking this process, but he does mean something by what he says. Saran.
Exactly what you know. You say, you tell them, just, you know, I let your men go, and your shepherds and all your shearers and everybody wasn't touched. But if you don't give me what I want, I'll take care of it and take care of you.
All right.
That's what he's doing.
I think, even though that's where he was going, but I think he did right by asking him first.
Okay, all right.
I mean, deep down in, the other was gonna come, but what's his name?
Nabal.
Nabal has been wise and kind and giving some, you don't have to give a whole lot, but he's been stubborn.
Okay, all right.
Get ready to show how stubborn.
All right, any more comments? All right, someone read this next verse.
So David,
Eight.
after your young men, and they will tell you, therefore let my young man find favor in your eyes, for you come on a feast day. Please give whatever comes to your hands to
This is important. We come on a feast day. We come on the harvest time. We come when everything is going well for you. We've heard of your prosperity. And then David kind of inserts at the end, please give whatever comes to your hand, to your servants, and to your Sunday. We need you to bless us. All right, we've been out there. We've been watching over you. We could have took something, but we didn't. Peace be unto you. We know you got a lot. We need you to kind of give us a portion of that. All right? Straight out ask, do you agree with this tactic?
He did say please.
All right, he did say please. Serrano?
Everybody says, please, in the house.
Okay.
To make themselves look good. I just think homeboy's trying something. He's using some tactics that, you know, he's smart. David's smart.
Okay.
So he's trying to do something on the go.
All right, going.
Yeah, I think, I agree with it, because I think you need to know who's on his side. If you're trying to figure that out, you need to go with the people who have the power first and work your way down.
Okay.
It almost looked like he said, give us what you're gonna turn in today, because he said whatever comes into your hands, everything's gonna be in his hands when he pulls it. So it's almost like, okay, give us what y'all.
All right.
We want something.
When someone's working, they should get paid.
Okay. So Dean comes to this point, he said if someone's working, they should get paid. So he's saying David is working, even though he hasn't been hired, he should get paid. Yes, ma'am.
I was gonna say, knowing his character, what he is capable of doing, that this is probably a nice way of David going about things.
Okay.
You know, as best as David can do it, because you know that he is a powerful man, and he could have just ransacked the place and taken what he wanted and not been nice about it.
Right.
So,
This is tough. I mean, when you want money, you don't go to poor people, right? you ask those who have something. And David sees this person has. This is like he's driving up in a Mercedes and has a big house, and so he asks for help and assistance from this person. I see it on both ways, but at the same time, he is coming with some David has power behind him. This is important. And David he already has a thought pattern how this is going to flow. And I'm concerned with us sometimes. Sometimes we can ask for things, but we already have decided how it's going to turn out. And therefore, if it doesn't turn out the way we want it, we become upset. All right? When we were supposed to trust God in the first place. So I want to keep that in the back of your mind. D.
I think Nabal should have trusted God. You know, when God blesses you with abundance of stuff, and you be so stained just to hold on, you know, by the time you see people who won't, you know, anything, or help nobody, and one another thing, sickness come along and wipe out about everything you got. And when you get this, it's not that you got it on your own. God bless you with great knowledge and you found the ABC right to save and have all this extra.
Right.
Well, you know, there's a problem coming from both sides. Because of David did go by, like in the New Testament, ask for it.
And don't forget this middle part. Therefore, let my young men find favor in your eyes, for we come on a feast day. We want favor. Now keep that in your mind. He asked, whatever you have, give it to us, please. All right, keep that in your mind. Keep that in your mind. Verse 9, someone read, please.
And so David, young men came, they spoke to Nabal, according to all of these words, in the name of the Lord, and waited.
All right. We delivered the message. Nabal, I like the Nabal. It is in your hands. We've been nice to you. We love you. We said please every day. We've done it every year. Your kids ever said please to you? And then when you say no, they get upset? All right, this is important. Verse 10, someone read, please.
Then Nabal answered David's servant and said, who is David, and who is the son of Jesse? There are many servants nowadays who break away each one for his master.
What is he saying?
I don't know who that is.
You don't recognize him?
Somebody's friend.
Who's David?
All of us are thugs out there. He might be a thug too. He does.
Yeah, you know he is.
You know he is.
I'm trying not to like Nabal because he has issues. He does. But his character is for real. He's like, this is my stuff. You asking me to bless me, or to bless you in a sense. And Nabal just says, who is David? And the son of Jesse. And then he says something very important. What does he insinuate? What is he saying at the end part of that?
He's a servant.
Yeah, he's a servant. He broke away from who?
His master. So he's beneath him.
He called him a thug in a sense. You were employed by Saul, King Saul. You broke away. Actually, you on the run. Who are you to me? What? Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
You agree, Keisha? Why?
I mean, you know, I'm human. And I feel for some people that do make it successful in this world because people have that mentality that you owe them something. And, you know, if someone came to my front door that I may have heard of, you know, depending on my mood, it's still up to me who I want to give to. And if I want to be stingy with it, whether I'm blessed or not, whether, you know, the holy saints tell me I'm wrong, that's my blessing.
Okay.
And the flesh in me can determine who I choose to bless. And so just speaking from a fleshly point of view, I would be offended if someone came and told me that I blessed you, and so now you have to bless me in return.
Go for it.
Yeah, Pastor, you gotta look at it. I mean, this guy, David, I know he heard about everything that David was doing. And actually, he probably don't agree. Because Saul is his master.
Right.
And you know, God already established that a long time ago, but I know he promised him he's gonna be a king and everything. And then, you know, I wouldn't let nobody just come out there and tell me I gotta feed you just because somebody told me they know you. You know, I wouldn't do that.
All right.
You have a pistol shoot my house.
All right. Okay. Yes, sir.
Pastor, I was in the restaurant today, and a man walked up to me and said, will you give me 2 pennies? I said, sure I will. I gave the man 2 pennies. The man sitting behind me said, you blessed that man with 2 pennies, I'm gonna bless you and your wife this morning. What he did.
Okay.
Gave him 2 pennies.
All right, so.
But I got blessed.
You got blessed with the gift
For
of
being
Christ.
blessed, yeah.
Okay, all right.
I have to look at it too, on the other hand, God gave Leah consumption good. But there was poor Lazarus, he didn't have a whole lot.
Okay.
And, well, he didn't give him the crumbs. Well, this man, his blessing, he could have spared David with a little something.
Okay.
Just come with the attitude. I know it was his,
Okay.
but, after all we have belongs to God.
So y'all socialists, that's what y'all are, right? Right, that, socialists believe those who are rich and blessed have a requirement to distribute it to those who are poor. That's what y'all saying. That's what y'all, some of y'all saying is that because Nabal was rich, he has a responsibility to the community to give to those, and that's actually what's going on in our nation right now. You know, because the percentile of the rich is being separated from the middle class and the poor so quickly. So what some are proposing is that the rich have to take some of their money and have to give it to us. Now, if you're poor, that sounds like a good thing, right? But Keisha, since she's rich, she's like, forget that. No, that ain't gonna work. So we're dealing with this whole process, Tony.
I look at both of them being shrewd here. You know, Nabal, I'm guessing by him having what he got his maybe by dishonest gain some, or he may have gotten from actually working hard. And he may have been okay with everything that the men said to me if it came to the last point. You know, it's like, it's payday. I saw you walk out of the bank with all that money. So don't tell me you don't have no money.
Okay.
Why didn't you come on another day? You know, it's like, I know you got it. Give it to me.
Okay.
That's before I bring a true story of how a man in he was rich. This the back he brought his real good money. And he wouldn't even buy himself no shoes. He paid his wife just to leave it all. He don't have to be burdened him about his money. So he gave a good amount of money to this leader. And he had all his money by himself. And he went to sell the tobacco and brought him about $5,000 a day. He said, "Here we get back, make some more." He ran the stoplight, killed this little boy, killed himself. His brother did it all. I know rich is ours, but if you're blessed to have more, you could have compassion on others.
Okay. That's right. Yes, ma'am.
But doesn't, I mean, to me, it would depend, it would be showing their true spirit. You know, if you were thankful for what you got and you remember where you got it from, then you would be willing to share it with somebody else. I think this is showing their true nature.
Okay.
Whether they've forgotten where their blessings come from, or whether they think, I got this.
Okay. All right. Good.
I believe David could have worded it differently.
Okay.
This is what I'm saying, you know, he knows about David's problem, and he could have said something, this is why I'm breaking away from Saul, because I was promised a kingship by the Lord Almighty. He could have said that, but see, when he comes up there to him, he's not even of his tribe.
Okay.
And you know, back in those days, tribe, you know, you from the house of Caleb, you know, my grandson, you gotta be straight.
Okay.
So, I mean, he wasn't from there.
Did I get all the hands? Next verse, someone read, please.
Shall I then take my bread and my water and my meat that I have killed from my shearers and give it to men when I do not know where they are from?
He has a point. I have to admit, this is my opinion right here. But we do see his heart. What do we hear over and over again in this? That's the word we learned when we was a little kid. Mine.
Blessings coming from.
Mine.
My water.
Mine. And I think we have to deal with, I mean, if you have no fear of God, then it is yours. Do what you want to do with it. But when you have a fear of God, you have to come to the solution or the realization it's not mine. And that's tough. That's tough in this society because we have been brought up, mine, mine, mine. It's all mine. And he says that over and again, my bread, my water, even though he couldn't make the water. I mean, think about that. It was really God's water. My water, my meat. All right, well, kind of came from the animals. God allowed them to reproduce, that I have killed. God gave me, actually he really didn't kill it. He had people working for my shares, and give it to the men. If I don't even know where they come from, why am I going to bless you and your ragtag bunch? Remember, people followed David from different parts. They came, and they was like, I don't even know who they are. Why am I going to give them my stuff? Good point. So,
He may be trying to validate his point too, because he, like I said, even though it's not social media, you know, if he helps David, maybe Saul do to him like he did to that other village that helped David hide David. Or
Okay.
kill them all off too, then he won't have his stuff no more. So maybe he's you know how you trying to talk your point, he's trying to validate why should I give this to him? Because the most part of it is, it's my stuff, well, I'm just gonna give it to you, so you say so.
good point. Yes, sir.
It goes back to, you know, I never saved, you saying, I never had Jesus and all the richness. You know, sometimes we just get carried away with what we got and we don't see who we can, you know, somebody else help somebody else.
Okay.
And one day, it's like the song said, I'll have to surrender everything that I have my name on. I'll surrender all. No, this worldly stuff, it bothers me. Because one time, I remember, not today, I think a lot of my grandfather's testimony, that even after, in 48, when he died, in 3rd Sunday in August, that I was 12, and would be 13 in October. But he come home, I mean, he was there, he got pain, real pain, and he started calling in his wife, see if she was there, and his 5 sons and 1 daughter, or 6 sons. And they were all there, and he just said, you know, well, I'm ready to go, my pains are in it. And he didn't tell them about all the land he had accumulated when he came out of slavery. But he had that faith, he said, I'm ready to go. But the story didn't stop there. 20 years later, I was in that same room, and my uncle, whom, his son, whom God had blessed him to come through World War I, and he had all his money, he had to get married. And one day he was sick in that same bed there. I was married then, and I went by to see him, and he said, you messed up. What are you talking about? He said, well, I just messed up. Well, what can I do? Because I know he was a good Bible scholar, but he didn't get married, and I thought maybe that was it, you know, he kept all his money set. But what came out in the end, he said, you know, could you help me? I said, well, what do I have to do? He asked me to go to Wilkesboro, North Wilkesboro, give him this money, I was safe. I mean, we get hung up on the money, we have other things. And it's like Job said, I brought nothing into the world, and I'm sure we're going to kill him now.
You don't care now.
And sure enough, my uncle Al, he died, and my father and my mother, brothers, they got the money.
All right. So
That's why
we gotta leave here.
we gotta leave here.
Okay.
We don't have to leave it all. I mean, even if I could have got his money out, he still died, and he still wouldn't have been able to use it.
Right.
So I think I crowd and get focused on the wrong thing.
Okay.
And also, I guess it's a difference if you do not have God in your heart, and you never confess, hope, and cry.
Right.
That makes a difference.
All right. Verse 12. Someone read verse 12.
So David's young men turned on their heels and went back, and they came and told him all these words.
They were expecting a different answer. Can't you see them as they turn on their heels, their horses, or whatever they're on, and they quickly go back to David. Now, this is the change. Now, Nabal was right in everything that he said. I think that we're going to have to deal with, even though he was right, could he have said it in a different way? I know Nabal should have thought about David and all the men that David had. And even though he was right, he has to make a decision, is it worth the fight? All right, if there's someone in front of you and you got money in your pocket and they have a gun to your head and say, give me your money, you got a choice. No. or sure, you can have my money, my pants, my shirt, whatever you want. Now, there's some people with the mind mentality go, no, you cannot have it, and pop, there you go, all right? The other folks like these, like, whatever you want, here, whatever you need, watches, whatever, you take it, I'll be there naked, as long as I'm okay. You know, you can just go on and go from there. And I think this is where Nabal is. He is overestimating his power in relationship to David, and he makes a diplomatic mistake. This is diplomacy at this point. He makes a serious diplomatic mistake. Bianca.
But isn't there somewhere in the law of Moses where it talks about those who are rich giving to the poor, like in some kind of requirement, especially on feast days? And that, I mean, not just David did this, but other beggars and people who were poor. I mean, I just think about Ruth and Naomi and the gleaning in the fields after the harvest. So wasn't there some kind of provisions that if you did have, and you were like shearing your sheep or something like that, you were supposed to set aside a portion to give to the poor, which I guess David considered himself poor.
And that's the problem, I think. Yeah, there are a lot of provisions, but we see Nabal, he's already an angry man and harsh, and he's not just feeding David, he's feeding his whole entourage. There's probably upward thousands of people with David at this point. And Nabal realizes that this is going to put, I don't want to say a pinch on him, but he's going to feel this. And he's going to have to deal with it. Wendy.
I think they both have an issue.
Okay.
I mean, I think that Nabal's part obviously is wrong. I mean, he's not willing to give without putting through all this stuff and all these questions. And then I think David was pretty bold in the way he sent them to ask the questions and to assume that he deserved something that he didn't.
Good. And David did not approach. This is another key. David sends his bid.
He sent
All right,
somebody
he
else.
needs
Yeah.
this. David does not come. Just keep that in mind. Look at this verse 13. Someone read, please.
And David said to his men, every man girded on his sword. So every man girded on his sword, and David also girded on his sword. And about 400 men went with David, and 200 stayed with the supplies.
Was this right?
That's my gangster.
This
Yeah, he
So
was,
he said it's
yeah,
gangster.
he was gangster. Yeah,
I
man.
asked for it, now we'll take it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I kind of thought about her uncle one time. He told me, he said, he had his kids all in the car, and they ran up into the back of him. And he got out to us, you know, said, you were in fault. He said, I got a 38, said, I mean, man, hit him in the back, and then he's gonna take his 38. He said, well, you were his fault. Well, no one wants to get killed.
Okay.
But I look back here, in a way, like David had asked for, and he didn't do it well. Well, it is sad story, actually.
Okay. It is this whole process. Look, David hears Nabal say no.
No.
All right. There's a choice. And Wendy brings out there, David has a choice right here. And remember,